Hey guys, welcome back to Monday Matinee. Today, I'm diving into my first ever Kino Lorber haul thanks to their big fall sale. I scored some exciting titles and I'm looking forward to unboxing them. These movies range from classic escapes to psychological thrillers to a Stanley Kubrick gem and some sci-fi paranoia. So let's take a look at what I got and why I thought they'd be good movies to pick up. First up is Runaway Train. This one's a bit of a blind buy for me, but I've heard it's an intense, gritty ride. This is a movie that made waves in the 80s, actually earning 2 acting Oscar nominations for the lead actors, Jon Voight and Eric Roberts. And that's pretty rare to do for an action movie. The plot follows 2 convicts as they escape a brutal Alaskan prison, only to find themselves on an out-of-control train in the dead of winter, while still being pursued. I'm a sucker for train movies, and this one's supposed to be essential viewing for action fans. Plus, I'm thinking about making a video on the best movies set on trains, and I think this one might be worth watching. Next, we got The Great Escape, remastered in 4K. Now, this one's a classic, with an iconic ensemble cast featuring Steve McQueen, James Coburn, James Garner, Richard Attenborough, Charles Bronson, and Donald Pleasance. It's the ultimate World War II escape movie where Allied prisoners, fed up with the Nazi prison camps, devised one of the most ambitious breakout plans in history. I love how the movie balances humor with the thrill of escape. 1 minute it's like a prison camp comedy, while the next is like a full-blown adventure. Looks like there's quite a few special features on this as well, with something like 6 featurettes. You've all seen that classic motorcycle scene, but now it's time to watch the whole movie. Here's the 4K of Escape from Alcatraz, another prison movie to add to the collection. I got a soft spot for movies set in confined spaces with high stakes, and this Clint Eastwood movie doesn't disappoint. Directed by Don Siegel, it's a no-frills thriller that's all about atmosphere and suspense. The story builds from the opening shot to the last frame, barely wasting a second. Alcatraz has always been one of those unsolved mysteries, and this movie makes you wonder if they really escaped or not. I'm leaning towards yes. Silence of the Lambs 4K is up next. I went back and forth on this one on which one to buy, considering that the Criterion Collection has gorgeous packaging and more comprehensive special features. But in the end, I opted for this 4K release during the sale. The main trade-off here is that the first maybe 20 minutes of the movie don't quite look right color-wise, considering that it's in the wrong color space. And that makes it look a little undersaturated, which can be a little disappointing. Also, it uses a down-mixed audio track from the 5.1, which is a little weak. However, the deal was too good to pass up, and it does include a Blu-ray that sidesteps these issues. And I know, the Arrow version is more of the definitive version to own, but that's kind of hard to get your hands on. Ultimately, this is one of those foundational thrillers that I'm glad to have in my collection. Next up is The Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 4K, the original one from 1956, directed by none other than Don Siegel, who also did The Escape from Alcatraz. This one's another blind buy for me, though I am a big fan of the 1978 remake, so I'm curious to how it holds up. The story focuses on a small-town doctor who discovers that the people around him are being replaced by emotionless alien duplicates. It's one of those horror classics that's set in broad daylight, relying more on the paranoia and not the jump scares. And the story itself, people you know and trust turning into something unrecognizable, is pretty terrifying if you think about it. There's a couple of featurettes and a couple of new commentaries. And last but not least, we have The Killing in 4K, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Somehow this is one of the few Kubrick movies I haven't seen yet, but it comes highly recommended, especially as a heist movie that's told in a non-linear fashion. The story follows a gang planning a racetrack heist, and it's supposed to be packed with twists and some serious tense build-up. I know this film was a big influence for both Quentin Tarantino and Christopher Nolan, so I'm looking forward to spotting the connections to their work. Should be a fun watch. Alright guys, that wraps up my first Kino Lorber sale haul. Let me know if you've seen any of these, and if there's any hidden gems I should look out for the next sale. Normally I'm a Criterion or Arrow fan, but I think Kino Lorber might have just earned a new fan. Thanks for watching. As always, see you in the next one.